We're here Facebook Live with Trinity Enterprises, your credit repair go-to source. Got DJ with me.
Hello, how are you today?
Wonderful. Honored that you come back.
Yes.
So we're just waiting on our friends to join. Listen, your questions last week were phenomenal. We need you again to participate this week. We have an excellent topic this week.
Yes. Our topic this week is what makes up a credit score.
Wonderful.
Yes.
I know there's a lot of questions out there because you're getting all kinds of information from Credit Karma. You're getting information from websites, your friends, your family. So definitely let's log in together so we can get on one accord. DJ, you're not in the picture.
I'm not in the picture, so let me move myself over some.
Yes.
So
sorry about that camera adjustment there. We want to make sure we're adjusting it so DJ can get in the picture with me. He's been my co-anchor.
Yes. Yes.
So we're co-anchoring. Next we'll be on the radio, so just wait.
You're on radio station.
Yes.
The credit repair lady.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I think
yes.
I have a sexy radio voice.
Is that what it is?
I can be Lala at night.
Oh, okay.
Come fix your credit.
Yes. Hey.
We're gonna keep it holy.
Yes, we'll keep it holy. Yes. So no, we had a great response last week, and people were really excited. So
Wonderful.
This week we have a new set of questions for you.
Wonderful. Ready? Let's go.
So we have these questions for you. So this is what happened. So before we get there, let's say this. We're back again this week, and last week we talked about buying a house and how credit plays into that. And so many people responded and asked questions. They want us to go back. So instead of buying a house, they want to know what makes up a credit score. So that's what we got questions on tonight. And some people said what happens is they hear so much and it sounds so complicated. And they want to know if you could just be really simple in the answers tonight so that way they can really understand it.
So filter it down.
Filter it down for them.
Absolutely.
And so I have 6 more questions for you that people sent in. And then I kind of shaped them a little bit to help some people out.
Okay.
But everybody please share because we want to make sure everybody are getting these free weekly nuggets from Trinity about credit, because Trinity's goal is to have people to be financially free today and not later. We want you to access your dreams now and not later. So make sure you ask questions along the way. We are logged in so we can see your questions as they come. And so last week, Ms. Cheryl was gracious enough to let me read some of the questions right off the screen that people had, and you answered them. So you want to do that again tonight?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Ask us anything. You know, we're here.
Okay, so here we go. So tonight, what makes up a credit score? So here's the first question that came through. What are the components of a credit score? So that's just real plain. What are the components of a credit score?
Components of the credit score actually arrange into basically 5 categories.
Okay.
So you can take 5 categories and go, what is the components?
Okay.
Payment history, number 1. When you have payment history on your credit, that can be installment, that can be revolving. And in, this day and age, a lot of people have payment history and old charged off accounts they quit paying.
Okay.
So let's take that, because we always get customers that come to us and have like a 600 credit score, but everything on their credit report is negative. Okay. So we have to kind of back the consumer up like we're doing tonight and teach them that, you know what, Mr. Customer, you're a great fit for credit, but we got to kind of wipe you clean in order to start over. So payment history, number 1.
Payment history.
Balance owed.
Balance
How
owed.
much are you spending on your credit?
Okay.
It's never good these days to be a cash buyer. It's never good these days. I mean, we want to be debt free.
Okay.
My preacher preaches it, and I believe it.
Okay.
But I do also believe that we have to show how much we're owing on paper.
Okay.
Banks want to see that you're paying your debts on time.
That's awesome.
That goes into credit history.
Okay.
How long have you been working with creditors? Who's entrusted you with what money? We're going to go there.
Okay. So we got 3 so far.
3 so far.
Payment history, the balance, and
credit
history.
Credit history. Balance owed, payment history, and credit history.
Okay.
Okay. Next one is the mix of credit. What
Okay.
type of credit do you have? That's very important. Mix
Okay.
of credit is everything. And then last but not least, that nobody really talks about is new accounts. Who's entrusted me today?
Okay.
You can have credit from 10 years ago, but the reality is you got to have something new today because the banks have changed.
Okay.
So we're going to talk about that.
So let's go back to those components again.
Okay.
So just name them.
We got payment history,
Payment history,
balance owed,
balance owed,
credit history,
types of
credit,
credit,
and then new credit.
new credit. So we have 5 areas to worry about.
5.
Okay. So everybody who asked for Ms. Cheryl to break it down and make it small and understandable. So
Right.
right now we know we have 5 components to deal with.
Right.
Okay, so now, next question. How much does each component contribute? So now we know we have 5.
Okay.
And then how much does each one of those components contribute to your credit score?
Right. And each component is very important. And I can tell you, out of the components, we can make up a 700 credit score.
Okay.
But each one of them has a percentage.
Okay.
And the percentages ultimately reach 100%.
Okay.
So know that those 5 components, you have 35% that makes up your payment history.
Okay.
So that's very important. Your payment history and your installment loans, your credit cards, and even old debts that you've actually lost. We got to talk about that because you can't keep those old debts there.
Okay.
We basically have to wipe them off.
Wipe them off.
And start over.
But
starting over is easy with Trinity.
Okay.
Okay, so starting over is easy. We'll get into that. So make sure you let me know if I don't get into how to start over.
How to start over.
And how to make it easy. Microwave credit, basically. Done right away. Make sure you bring that question up.
Okay.
So 35% payment history.
Okay.
30% is balance owed.
Okay.
So balance owed is very important.
Okay.
Don't overuse your credit. A lot of times borrowers are seeing that when they owe the money, you immediately bought a car and your credit scores dropped.
Okay.
That's so the banks don't let you go out and buy 5 cars.
Okay.
They don't keep the credit scores up. 15% is credit history.
Okay.
How much you're utilizing of the history that you have. And then mix of credit is going to be 10%. Okay. And then 10% for new history.
Okay, so now I need a math class.
Right.
Because at 35%, so come on, hit me again. Because
35.
We're keeping it simple for everybody.
35
even
payment
for me,
history.
Because
right.
I might be a little slow on this too. All right, so 35% for now.
Now he does have a doctor in front of his name. Okay, don't be fooled.
Doesn't have to do math.
Everybody that's DJ's friend knows Dr. Hodrick.
Okay, so 35%.
35% credit history.
Okay.
30% balances owed.
So I'm at 65.
Right.
Okay.
15% on credit history.
Okay, so I'm at 80.
Right, and then 10% of mix of credit.
Okay.
And
90.
then 10% of new credit.
So 100. So now that's 100% reporting out of 5 components. So I think that takes us right into our next question, because the next question is if a consumer is not earning points.
Thank you for joining us, John. And
hi, John. How are you? That's right. We forgot to check in on our friends. So hi, John. I see Forsini is here.
Yes.
Okay. Hi, Forsini and Melissa. Lisa. Oh, Lisa. That's right. Lisa. So thanks for joining us, guys. Okay. So if a consumer is not earning points in all the components, does that hurt their score? And if so, how do they make sure they're earning points in each area?
Well, earning points is very important because the only way to build credit history is to make sure you're hitting each 5 steps.
Okay.
But each 5 steps can be combined into one area.
Okay.
It actually breaks down into 2 areas.
Okay.
It breaks down into installment and revolving.
Okay.
So we're going to actually address that because what type of credit you're using versus what type of credit you have, we can show you that it's not good to build a lot of installment credit because it shows a lot of debt.
Okay.
It weighs your scores down.
Okay.
Because what happens with installment credit?
You have to make that payment, and you have to keep making that payment.
Right. Installment credit says that I owe a term of a loan 15 or 30 years if it's a house.
Right.
I owe a loan of a car in 3 to 6 years.
Okay.
So after that loan is paid for, that credit closes.
Okay.
So installment loan is good because it's a mixture of that. You need that to get into the 800s to be my mama's age.
Oh, okay.
Mama's got longevity of credit, but it's because she has a history of both types. And then revolving credit is very important. I recommend small installment type credit,
okay, but
great revolving credit.
Okay.
Because I have found, even with my own scores, the more credit I'm worth in revolving.
Okay.
That shows me, and we have to understand installments based on your income. You could afford, you have to verify your income when it comes to taxes when installment credit.
Right.
So you're not going to go buy a Lamborghini or a Porsche and they can't verify you can support that type of car note.
So then that means when you were saying about how much we owe on the card with the revolving, so can you explain how much I owe? And then you want to have
I'm going there because revolving credit, when you apply for credit cards, that's unverifiable income when it's unsecured.
Okay.
Credit card companies take you based on your word.
Okay.
It's how you fill out the application.
Okay.
And maybe that should be one of our classes. How to
do I
fill out our credit card
Okay,
application.
Got it.
A lot of people aren't getting their credit worthiness because they don't fill out the application right.
Okay.
Either they're too truthful,
Okay.
or they don't put the type of employment that's needed, or the credit card companies. Because remember, when people fill out credit applications,
Okay.
they're no longer talking to a Mr. Banker sitting in the bank.
Okay.
You're actually allowing a computer to judge you based on your net worthiness on paper.
Okay, and so then I need to keep a low balance on those revolving cards.
Right. So revolving credit is credit cards. Unsecured credit, there's two types, secured and unsecured.
Okay.
Unsecured revolving credit is the most effective way to boost your credit scores because it's nothing you had to put collateral on.
Okay.
That means it's open-ended credit. It's going to stay open forever.
Okay.
As long as you're a good customer, paying the bill on time, keeping a low credit limit.
So what percent am I supposed to be at when it comes to my balances on my credit cards?
Ideally, most of us should be at about 30%, but most people can't afford that. So don't go over 50%. If you can stay at 50%, let's say you have a $10,000 credit card,
Okay.
and you spend less than $5,000 on it every month. Now, listen, some of you are already saying, but yeah, Cheryl, I have a $10,000 credit card. I charge it all the way up to $9,999 and I pay it off every month.
Okay.
That's not helping you.
Okay.
Because if you're not paying your credit card off before the billing date,
Okay.
before the statement date, see, the credit card companies don't have time to report that you're a good paying customer. The minute you charge it up, they're reporting you're at risk.
Okay.
And then the minute you pay it off on your payment date, the minute you pay it off, you're automatically got a statement date, typically 6 to 7 days behind your payment date. And you're charging it up. You think the credit bureaus go to the credit reporting on the payment date?
Right.
No, they go on your statement date.
Okay.
So pay attention. If your credit card's due on the 1st, your credit card bill will say a statement date is on the 7th.
Okay.
So if you are the type that has to live on your credit, or you have it for business and you're using it a lot, don't charge that credit card to the max till after the 7th. That's your statement date.
Okay.
That's the day they're going to the credit bureaus to report your spending.
Okay.
So the credit score is very effective on that. If you have to use it, we say recommend stay at low. Let me tell you why, another secret nobody talks about.
Okay.
Staying low on your payments of your credit cards and keeping your balances low, you'll cause your credit card companies to fight over you.
Huh.
You will cause automatic credit limit increases because now they're going to want to throw more money at you to get you to entice you to use it, and they're going to have a competition with each other.
Because nobody wants to give it to you the first time, but once somebody gives it to you, everybody wants you to be with them.
Right. Credit card companies are in competition with each other. Okay. So the makeup of these the credit scores are very important. Okay. And we want to definitely address that. I don't see any questions coming in. So listen, I need you to get involved. Share the post. Get your fans and family members. Get people that really should hear this information because it's the truth.
It's the truth.
It's hard and it's hardcore because we're coming into Christmas.
Right, and people spend during Christmas time.
We see so many new negatives added during Christmas time, and people just overutilize their credit. They overspend, and they're dropping their credit scores. And then come tax time,
right,
they're wanting to buy a house, but they just had a hit on their credit. So listen, your family and your friends love you, and I tell you, I mean, I'm the #1 person. I just came from overseas,
right,
and we are spoiled.
Yes. So
listen, don't overspend because we want to keep your credit good for years to come and even months to come.
Right. Okay, so keep it down below 30% if I can.
If you can.
But if I can't, 50%.
50% is the max.
50% is the max.
You're climbing. You're not going to get credit limit increases if you go over 50.
Okay, but I really need to target 30 or less.
30 or less, and you'll have the credit card companies typically once every quarter say, congratulations, we increased your credit limit. Right. You'll get a lot of credit reviews and evaluations, and it just makes you look better on paper.
Okay.
You can sleep better.
Sleep better because I look better.
You look better.
Right. So
did I tell you look good today?
You look good today.
Did you say I did my hair?
Who did your hair?
Oh, I did my hair. I had my hairdresser, Lisa.
Oh, okay. So Lisa, you have to, give a spot to Lisa.
Shout out.
Right.
Yeah.
So Lisa can get some more business. Okay. So next question. Why is my credit score high on credit monitoring and low when they pull that credit card lot?
Great. Listen, there's 3 types of credit scores that your credit's made up of.
Did you just say 3?
3.
So I got 5 components on my credit score.
On how to make your credit score.
How to make it up. And then now I got to worry about 3 different types of scores.
Well, yes, because the key is here, the Credit Karmas and the online sites.
Okay.
They have the Vantage Scores. You know, nobody goes by those. Those are just there to get you to log in. These are basically database gathering information.
Okay.
They're there to sell you to the credit card companies and try to get your information out there to get more credit.
Okay.
All right. They're not bad.
Okay.
A lot of people have learned a lot about their credit through Credit Karma.
Okay.
But they get confused. We hear it every day. They come to us and they say, Credit Karma said, Cheryl, you got my score to a 720. My lender just pulled it and I'm only a 690.
Okay.
Because the Vantage Scores don't cost an inquiry. They're called soft pulls.
Okay.
So when we look at the credit report, we want to make sure it's always a hard inquiry called FICO or Beacon scores.
Okay.
So FICO, there's a lot of different models of FICO score, but that's what the lenders typically use.
Okay.
Mostly the Beacon scores are found in your car industry.
Okay.
So the car companies and the mortgage companies are always going to pull your credit score through a Beacon or FICO score.
Okay.
And that's a trustworthy score. That's what the banks are going to lend you money on and how they're rating you as a borrower.
Okay, so now I got 5 components. Oh, we have a question. So let's get to that question in just a second. So we'll make sure we clean this up for everybody. Remember, they want to keep it simple tonight.
Right.
Okay, so I have 5 components that make up my credit score.
Right.
Okay. Then I have 3 different types of scores when people pull my credit.
Right.
Okay.
Well, the only time they're going to pull is 2.
Beacon.
The kind you see on the.
So Beacon and FICO.
Right.
Okay, and that's coming down because I get a hard inquiry and my score may come down because of the hard inquiry.
1 or 2 points, not much.
Not much.
Everybody should get a real credit pull at least once a year.
Okay.
Because what you see online is old information a lot of times, like the annualcreditreport.com.
Okay.
Typically, they only update that bureau once every 6 months.
Okay.
So when you get that free report for them, it's good, but it's not going to be always up to accurate data.
Okay, got it. So there's a question that came in because of something you said tonight, and you talked about people shopping during the holidays and overusing their credit. So the question is, what is the most effective way to keep good credit during the holidays?
Dollar Tree.
Dollar Tree.
Don't overspend your budget. What have you set aside?
Dollar Tree.
Go to Dollar Tree.
For
they got the best stuff.
For gifts?
You know, especially for your expensive people in your family. They've never went to Dollar Tree.
So they won't even know where it came from.
No!
Oh my goodness.
No.
Okay. That's
funny.
Yeah. Okay. So no,
right.
Sorry. So but really, so how do we get good credit or keep good credit during the holidays?
Keeping good credit in the holidays is get a budget.
Okay.
Don't go beyond your budget.
And should your budget include what you're gonna spend on your credit card or the cash you have in your bank to pay the card right back off?
Oh, yikes.
Oh, yikes.
First thing in your budget is make sure you got your bills covered.
Okay.
Cover your bills because you're the one that's going to feel that for months to come when you're past due on your car payment and your baby daddy, he didn't have that sweater on and you got mad at him and you spent a lot of money on him, or your grown kids, because I had that problem, you know, grown teenagers.
Okay.
You know, you sacrificed. You went out and spent the best gift because you thought you were going to give your best. But the reality is you can give your best, but build to the level.
Okay.
You know, I had to learn that as a young person. I had to learn that I couldn't live beyond my means.
Right.
And I believe God rewarded me for that because I had to make sure I stayed within my means. And then I learned what my means were to build from there.
Okay.
So budget-wise, when it comes to Christmas, guys, listen, do what you got to do. Pay your bills first. And what is the leftover from your bills?
Okay.
Be wise.
So don't use my light bill to go Christmas shopping.
No, you need those lights.
I need the light.
You need the lights.
Hot water.
Absolutely.
And cook food.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
And your family understands where you come from too, typically.
Yes.
Typically they do.
Right.
They know your lifestyle. They're already talking about it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, so next question. Of the components of a credit score, what services does Trinity offer that can help consumers?
Oh my gosh, we can do everything for you.
We can do everything?
Yes.
Okay. So let's tell them some of the things we can do.
Well, what we do first is cleaning your credit.
Okay.
You know, taking the negatives off is the most important effective service that we do.
Okay.
We want to take the negatives off in 30 to 90 days. Our goal is to try to take them off without you having to pay or settle the debts.
Okay.
Saving you the money and doing that alone is going to alleviate $1,000 worth of stuff that most consumers think they should pay.
Okay, so then that score goes up in the component of the history because now it's not there. Is that how that would work?
Typically, the score may go down.
Okay.
You know, we have to look and see what type of positive credit. When we look at a credit report and you come to us for your consultation, and by the way, we got free consultation. So when you come to us, you know, if we need to pull a credit report, we have a small retainer to do the plan and development part.
Okay.
All right. That's $185.
Okay.
$35 to pull your credit. $35 for the plan development. That's included in the $185.
Okay.
We're going to tell you right away what our success ratio is going to be and taking off the negative. Okay. So in that time frame too, we're going to look and see what you have positive.
Okay.
What type of good credit do you have left on there?
Okay.
Because if you don't have credit, what I have to do is basically think of it like a balance beam.
Okay.
This side is negative, my left hand, which is the right hand on the camera.
Okay.
Is it my left hand?
Yeah.
The right hand is the positive.
Okay.
So are you debt heavy and negatives?
Okay.
What I have to do is shrink that negative debt ratio.
Okay.
So let's say 80% of what's on the credit report is negative.
Okay.
I'm typically going to take that percentage down to 15 or 20%.
Okay.
And then what's going to happen is I have to rebuild what I took off in positive credit.
Okay.
And that's going to be in our booster card program.
Okay. So the negatives actually have a payment history that was tied to it.
Some of them will.
So
Some of them have charged off of Capital One.
Okay.
Or they have charged offs of Credit One Bank, Santander, repossessions, you name it.
Okay.
Once it's negative, listen, folks, once it's negative, it doesn't help you to settle it. Unless you're down to the wire where the lender's like, okay, you deleted everything but one negative. It doesn't help you because once a debt goes bad, it's bad. So even if you pay it, it's still bad.
So leave those alone.
Leave them alone and let us address it. Yes.
So basically, Trinity can help in the payment history area.
Right.
Trinity can help in the new accounts area.
Right.
Okay, so basically all 5 components, depending on what's on the credit score, Trinity can help.
Right, and that's what we want to do. We want to help you in bringing your scores up because the first thing we got to do is take the debt off.
Okay.
We don't want you to have to explain whatever you're trying to go buy, a house or car. We don't want you to explain where the debt went.
Okay.
Why it got deleted.
Okay.
A lot of lenders really question. They say, hey, you had $10,000 worth of collections here. What happened to them?
Right.
But we have to explain that they were inaccurate in the first place. Either they were legally posted, you didn't have an account with them, they were medical bills, or the original creditor, according to Debt Collections Act, overcharged on the debt with interest and fees.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, so they overcharged me and then posted?
Absolutely.
Oh, wow.
Get away with it.
That's not nice.
They only get away with it because you didn't know about us.
So knowing Trinity helps you out.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So another
person just joined us.
Hi, Lisa. How are you?
Hi.
We can say hi, Lisa. You want to say hi?
We
Lisa?
got a lot of friends.
Hi, Lisa.
Well, listen, we are excited. So keep sharing us. Let people know.
I have another question for you.
I'm ready.
Okay, you ready? So this is the question that came in, and someone asked me, and I said, I'm going to say this question for Michelle because she's the credit repair lady. She's
right
the queen.
off the cuff.
She's the queen of credit. Okay, ready? So here's the question: what is the one thing you recommend today for everyone to start doing to acquire and maintaining good credit? So there's so much to do, but if they need to do something right now today, what is something you would tell them to do?
Right now today, if they haven't called us, call us first.
Okay.
Because what you think you're doing right, you may not be doing right.
Okay.
All right. So call us first because we want to definitely give you the right direction. But in the real world, I would say is look at your debt.
Okay.
What do you have on paper that you're paying on time?
Okay.
Pay it on time. And even if you can, try to start, knocking off if you have extra money in the month or you got some money coming through your child support or your taxes, start bringing your balances down, even in your car payments.
Okay.
You can always put extra money towards the principal of your car payment and shave off the years of that, or in your mortgage.
So what I heard first though is don't be late on your payments. That's the best.
Don't be late,
okay.
But look at what you have on paper.
Okay.
If there's nothing good on paper, then call us to get the good on the paper.
Okay.
So we can add the good credit on your paper through what we call booster cards.
Okay.
We can put a 10-year credit history back to someone. And listen, let's back up to credit history.
Okay.
Because let's say if you're 47 years old or you're 50 years old,
okay,
and you have no positive credit on your credit report, you got to get some credit on there because you've been 18 a long time ago. Remember, credit starts when the moment you turn 18. Are we back live?
We're back.
We're back live. So sorry about that. Newbie on the block here.
That's okay.
All right, so different camera view. There you go, DJ. You're in the camera now.
Right.
So
got us back.
Got us back.
Okay.
But we only got a few minutes left. So
okay.
Listen, we want to make sure that we let you know that. I forgot my question.
Oh, so you wanted to tell them about the credit history, and because we were talking about the credit ratings and the fact this is the one thing you want them to do, so we went from, just in case people are catching up, I'm just going to give you a quick revamp because we got interrupted. We asked Cheryl what is the one thing she recommend, and so she talked about paying things on time.
Right.
And so that was one thing she recommended. And so the credit history that they have to have. And then we talked about the fact that at 18 is when your credit history starts. Regardless if you apply for a card or not, when you turn
Right.
18, you have credit. So we were talking about the adding positive credit because
Right.
no
Some
matter
of us
what.
don't have the relationships.
Right.
Listen, if you got a mom that, let's say your mom is 60 years old and she's had a Discover card for 30 years.
Okay.
And you're trying to get good credit and put some credit history to your name, and you got a good relationship with mom, and mom doesn't overspend on her Discover card. She keeps the balances low. She's very picky about what she does, like my mom. Listen, ask her to add you to that card as an authorized user.
Okay.
Right now, the credit bureaus don't have a scoring models that determine that 30-year Discover card hits your credit the minute she adds you an authorized user. It's not a legal process.
Okay.
It's a legal way to get your credit score and the history of your credit score to go up.
Okay.
If you don't have that relationship, we do.
So go to mom, say, hey, mom, I don't want the card. No, I'm not going to spend money on it.
Right.
But can you add me to it to start building my positive recording history?
It's called seasoned trademarks.
Because I'm 18.
Right.
And I'm going to need something positive
right.
on my credit because I'm 18 now. My credit has started rolling.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Credit card companies, if you're ever young and you try to apply for credit, credit card companies are in competition with each other.
Okay.
So none of them basically trust you until somebody else has.
Okay.
So it's easier to build credit if you already have credit.
Okay.
So it's very important to do that. We had a few minutes left.
Okay.
So we want to make sure, listen, booster cards, keeping your payments low,
right.
erasing the negative debts, number one,
yes.
because you can add credit cards all day long.
Okay.
But if you got 15 negatives on your credit report, you're not going to see your scores go up because remember the balance beam.
Okay.
You're still debt heavy.
All right. So we have 2 minutes left. And so in these 2 minutes, I want to make sure we go back just in case somebody just joined us.
Hi, Fabiola. I see Fabiola just joined us.
Hi, Fabiola. How are you?
Fabiola's got a lot of friends.
Okay. So Fabiola, tell your friends
Share
about every Monday night at 7 o'clock, we're going to give out these credit wisdom nuggets.
Absolutely.
Okay. So in review for tonight. So last week we did buying a house and how credit plays into it. This week we talked about the components. What makes up a credit score? So for everybody, we just want to keep it simple again. Tell them those 5 components that make up their credit score.
Closing out. 5 components is 35% is your payment history.
Okay.
30% is your balance owed. Okay. 15% is your credit history.
Okay.
What type of history you have. 10% is the credit mix. What type of credit, installment versus revolving. And 10% is new credit. So make sure you keep that whole mixture together, and we can help you do that by looking at your credit report. Are we looking at good debt versus bad debt?
Okay. And just because they turn 18 doesn't mean they have good credit. They need to start adding credit to it. And
when you're 18, you have no credit.
No credit. That's
now
right.
You're finally on the book.
And now you got to add something to it. And so what we want you to know is that Trinity can help with all of those components, all 5 components. Trinity has a service that can help you with it to make sure that you're getting points in all 5 areas.
Absolutely.
Okay, so again, guys, share. If you know somebody that couldn't watch it tonight because they're working or they have some obligation tonight at 7 o'clock and couldn't tune in, share it on their page so that they can get this information as well. So maybe one day when they are available at 7 o'clock on a Monday, they can just join for themselves. But again, these are free wisdom nuggets about your credit every Monday at 7 o'clock with the credit repair lady, the queen of credit, Miss Cheryl. Yes, you're the queen of credit.
And my co-anchor.
Oh, and the co-anchor, Dr. Harder. Yes, yes. So we're going to be here every week, 7 o'clock, 30 minutes, quick nuggets, share. Send your questions to tepmarketing03@gmail.com.
Right there on the Facebook.
Right there on Facebook, or send it through Facebook Messenger to Trinity. We want to answer your questions on these Monday nights.
Yes.
If you really want to talk to somebody at Trinity, talking to us is free. We don't charge you to answer the phone. 407-831-2525. Go check us out online at www.trinityenterprisesllc.com, or you can go to www.creditrepairlady.com. Call, ask for Miss Cheryl. She loves talking to people. She loves seeing people grow.
Yeah.
She wants people to experience financial freedom now and not later.
Right.
So again, this is Miss Cheryl's idea as a way to give back, is to just have these conversations about credit each week, because everybody should enjoy financial freedom.
Absolutely. We want you to be a part. Thank you so much.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.